And with that, we'd like to welcome everyone into tonight's basketball game. The starters for Central Magnet again: Clara Johnson, Landry LaPointe, Nora Clancy, Madison Stanley, and Lily Stivall. Of course, for your Vikings, you have White, Haskins, Yos, Flanagan, and Maxey. So we are underway. And quickly, we have a tie-up, and it'll go the other way. Both teams come in with pretty good records. The Viqueens 7-4, Central Magnet 5-2. And Community with their first possession. Flanagan with it on the left wing, gives over to Haskins. Haskins now hands off to Flanagan, puts a shot up and in off the glass. Excellent shot there by Sarah Flanagan. So Stanley with it at the top. Swings it over to Clancy. Now back to Stanley. Stanley trying to find something to open up there in the middle. And finally, they hand off to number 21, that being Clara Johnson. The drive, that cut off. Now back out on the perimeter. Clancy with it. Three-pointer, thought about it, was Johnson, but now she'll hand it back off. Now finally touching the basketball was number 22, Steibel. And again, back out on the perimeter. So looking over to head coach Alan Bush. He gives them a play to set up. They get it to the elbow. The drive, shot, yes. Excellent shot there by number 22, Lily Steibel, the sophomore. And our score's knotted at 2. 6:20 to go here in the first. Maxey gives over to Yos. Yos looking in the post. Now the drive, shot, yes. Nice little floater there by the senior, Anna Haskins. And the score, 4-2. Stanley will swing it over. Johnson had it momentarily. Now they'll give back to the top of the key. Stanley drives, puts up the shot. Won't go too strong, and it goes out of bounds. And I believe we're going to have our first foul of the night. And that's going to be charged to Steibel. That is her first, team's first. We do not have the luxury of a PA announcer tonight, so I'll try my best to keep up with the fouls. Maxey with it at the top of the key. Gives off to Haskins. Haskins coming off that screen by Yost. Haskins drives, left hand, puts it up, and that one rims out. Rebound going to go over to number 30, Stanley, and she will lead the charge. Quick three, that one short of the mark. So number 21, Johnson, couldn't get that one to go, and back come the Viqueens. The drive by Maxey cut off. Yos with it, swings it over. Haskins, three. That one off the mark, and rebound going to Stanley and the Lady Tigers. And pickpocketed from behind. Excellent defensive play there by Maddie Maxey. She gets the steal, pushes it to Haskins. Haskins drives, left hand, yes! The kiss off the glass, and the score now 6-2. Stanley will slow the action down and bring it up. Swings it over to number 21, Johnson. Now flashing high was number 2, LaPointe. Back over to Stanley. Now they get it free throw line. Shot, yes. Good look there by Clara Johnson, the senior, and she puts it down, and the score now 6-4 in favor of the home squad. Maxey with it, drives, puts up the shot, and that one won't go. Rebound is going to go to number 2, that being LaPointe. And back with it come the Lady Tigers. Stanley couldn't quite handle that one, but finally regroups. And they'll swing it around the horn to number 5, Clancy. Now they've got it back at the top of the key to LaPointe. And LaPointe will hand off to Stanley. 4 minutes to go here in the first. 6-4 in favor of the purple and gold. Stanley a three. That one won't go. Rebound, and a foul's going to be called underneath. As I believe that's going to be called on LaPointe. And indeed it will. So that's Landry LaPointe's first foul. And checking into the game will be Pearson. Checking out will be number 21, that being Madison Hill. Or excuse me, Sarah Flanagan. 6-4 the score. Viqueens with it. Maxey rolling off somewhat of a screen, then picks up her dribble, gives to Yos. Yos gives it on the wing. They move it down. White's got it. Pops out. Pearson, three ball. Won't go too strong, and rebound is loose. Finally picked away by LaPointe. And here come the Lady Tigers. 6-4 the score. 3:25 to go here in the first. That one knocked away. LaPointe finally regains it. Hands off to number 22, Steibel. And now they give it to 5. The drive won't go. And that being Clancy. As the ball goes out of bounds, it'll stay with Central Magnet. So Stanley, number 30, will be the one to inbound underneath the basket. Gives to Clancy. Now a three-point attempt. That one short of the mark, and rebound is going to be saved underneath to Maxey. Viqueens with it, leading by 2. Yos Gives it over on the right wing. Haskins drives, shot. That's short. Rebound goes to Stanley. So Madison Stanley with the rebound, and now she's at the point. 2:35 to go here in the first. And both teams have went on a little bit of a cold spell as we've remained at 6-4 for quite some time. And that's going to be an illegal screen, I do believe. They're going to call that on number 2, Landry LaPointe. Let's see if she indeed is the guilty party, and she is. Moving the feet there on the screen. And checking into the basketball game for Central Magnet will be number 15. That is Anna Redmond. So the sophomore getting some time for the Lady Tigers. Meanwhile, Maxey with it at the top of the key. Drives, picks up the dribble, gives off to Yos. Yos now on the right side, gives to White. White puts a move, puts it up. That one too strong, goes over the rim and into the hands of the Lady Tigers as they come back with it, that being Clara Johnson. Gives off to Stanley. Stanley, spin move, and now she is stopped momentarily by Haskins, but a nice turnaround shot, and it ties the game at 6. Community quickly back with it. Haskins drives, comes off a screen by White, puts up the shot. Yes! So she answers the turnaround shot by Stanley with a little bit of a spin move herself, and the score now 8-6 in favor of the Viqueens. 1:34 remaining here in the first as we've gone a little bit back and forth here in the last 30 seconds. Johnson with it, now gives over to Stanley, now back to Johnson. Three-pointer, that one misses everything. Along the baseline, though, it is saved. Good effort there by Redmond. Now they'll swing it around. The shot, that one will not go as number 5, Nora Clancy, came inside the three-point line and missed everything. So checking out will be Pearson for Community. Checking back in will be number 14. That will be Madison Hill, the sophomore. And we approach the 1-minute mark. Hill drives, and offensive foul is going to be called as she pushed off. Good job by number 5, Nora Clancy, to get position. And then Hill simply just shoved with that forearm and draws the foul. So Hill with her first. That will be Community's first team foul. Stanley will slow it down. Not sure if Coach Bush told her to hold it for the last possession or not. We are under 47 seconds. Johnson with it. Stanley, a three. Bang! Nice shot there by Madison Stanley. The sophomore buries that one. And Central Magnet with their first lead of the evening, 9-8. Maxey gives to Yos at the top of the key. Yos looking. Nice pass to White. Puts it up and puts it in. So the score now 10-9. 20 seconds to go. Central Magnet with it. Stanley across the timeline. Gives off to Johnson. Johnson back to Stanley. Now back to Johnson. Under 8 seconds. I'm not sure if she's aware of the clock. Finally looking up. Stanley, 4 seconds. Steps up. Puts the shot up. And that one will not go. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. So we have played one here in Unionville, Tennessee. With our score, Community leads it 10-9. You're watching Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network.
Isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Viqueens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
And we'd like to welcome everyone back in. Second quarter action here from Unionville, Tennessee, as Community has the slimmest of leads, the score being 10-9. So Central Magnet, the Lady Tigers with possession. Clancy with it at the top of the key. Flashing across was Redmond, but they hand off over to Stanley. Now Clancy back with it, being guarded by Hill. Now Redmond flashes high. They do not choose to give the ball to her. Now they finally do, as she leaves it behind for number 21, Johnson. And now Johnson will back it out. So Central Magnet trying to set up something, but this zone defense giving them some issues. Redmond, three, and that one way too strong. Rebound, and that's going to go off White as she is diving for it to try to save it, but unfortunately cannot. So it will stay with the Lady Tigers. 7:22 to go here in the first half. Community with the lead, 10-9. Inbound goes to Stanley. Try to get it out quickly for the three, but instead a nice drive by number 21, Clara Johnson. Just could not finish. Rebound goes to Yos, and we'll come back with it the other way. Yos with it at the top of the key. She looks for White down low. White had it momentarily taken away by Stanley. Regroups, gets the ball over to Hill, and Hill shuffles the feet and is called for the travel. So the turnover there. And checking out for Central Magnet will be Redmond. Back into the ball game will be number 22, that being Lily Styball. Or excuse me, it was number 3, Zupkis, checking in. My apologies there. Trying to keep track of everything. They finally do give to her. She's got it at the top. Swings it over to number 21, Johnson. Johnson over to number 5, that being Clancy. Gives it to Zupkis. Nice look. Just threw it behind her, and that one was knocked away by Haskins, and now Hill will bring it back the other way for the Viqueens. Maxey with it at the top of the key. She'll come off a screen. Nice play there by White, but just too much mustard on it. And it goes all the way over the rim. Too strong. Rebound Stanley, and Central Magnet back with it. Johnson has it beyond the arc. Now dumps off to number 5. Now they dump to 22. That being the sophomore Lily Styball, and she makes the jumper, and the score now 11-10. I do apologize. I was able to get Central Magnet's roster about 30 minutes before the game, so I'm still trying to familiarize myself with the names and the number combo. 5:40 to go, 11-10. Central Magnet back with it. Zupkis with it, down in the corner. Drives, cut off at the baseline, and in fact, she stepped out. It'll be a turnover. Community will have it as number 21, Sarah Flanagan, checks in. Madison Hill will have a seat. 11-10, our score in favor of the visitors from Murfreesboro. As the sophomore, Maddie Maxey, will bring it up. Slings it over to Haskins. Haskins on the left wing. Haskins, cut off by Stanley. Gives it to Yost. Yost, 3. Bang! String music as Yost knocks it down. And the score now 13-11. So it would be nice to see if we could get Brooklyn Yost warmed up from behind the arc, as we've seen here on the home floor in previous contests how much damage she can do. Zupkis with it at the top of the key. She'll swing over to number 5, that being Clancy. Clancy, lazy pass, was almost intercepted by Haskins, and that one is intercepted by Maxey. She'll lead the charge, quickly gives it to Flanagan, puts it up and in. Nice stop and shot by number 21, the junior Sarah Flanagan, and the score now 15-11, the largest lead that Community has had so far. Clancy will give over to number 22, that being Styball. Styball then gives to Zupkis. Zupkis on the right wing, battling along with Haskins, and what do we have here? It is going to be a timeout. So timeout called by head coach Alan Bush. We'll take the timeout with them. 4:15 to go here in the first half. 4-point lead by the Viqueens. You're watching Community Basketball on the Ball Network. a mini basketball has been thrown onto the court. So we'll get that off and see if the officials are going to let the substitutions take place, and I believe so. So number 15, Redmond, back in for Central Magnet as the first free throw is good, and now Pearson will come in for Haskins. So I believe that's got everybody checked in. So Styball, Johnson, Stanley, Redmond, and I was trying to see who else was in there. Also number 5, Clancy. So that's the 5 for Central Magnet. Stanley, three-pointer. That one too strong. It'll rattle off, but rebound will stay with Redmond and the Lady Tigers, but she is boxed in, and that one's stolen away. Good defense by Community, and Sarah Flanagan will pull up and wait for the troops. 2:25 to go. 18-11 in favor of the purple and gold. Wide at the top of the key will hand off. Maxey looking, gives to Pearson. Pearson swings it around to Flanagan. Looking low to Pridmore. Pridmore has it. Nice look as Pearson comes in from behind. Pridmore saw her all the way. Nice pass, nice finish, and the score now 20-11. Johnson swings it to Redmond. Redmond has it over to Stanley on the right wing. Stanley being guarded very closely by Pearson. Euro step won't go, no foul called, and now a whistle has blown. And it is going to be against Community. Let's see who the infraction is on. And it is going to be called on Savannah Pearson. I have that down as her first. Nice inbound to Stanley, and that one up and in off the glass. So the score 20-13. 1:39 to go here in the first half. Maxey quickly across the timeline, gives over to Savannah Pearson. Pearson on the right wing was looking for White, who bumped out off the block. And Pridmore trying to gain position on the elbow. And they finally get it to her. Nice look to White. And a travel has been called on Morgan. So it was a nice thought, just could not complete it as Savannah Pearson will check out. And back into the ball game for Community will be number 14, Madison Hill. So Stanley with it as we approach the 1 minute mark. 7-point lead for the Viqueens. Stanley drives into the paint, shot, count it, and the foul. So Stanley gets that one to go home, draws the contact, and the foul called on number 30, Morgan Pridmore. That is her first. So the old-fashioned three-point attempt by Stanley. The free throw up, and indeed it is true. 20-16. Central Magnet hanging around. Lady Tigers will not go away. Hill with it on the left wing. Gives to Maxey. Maxey swings it around the horn. Hill will give back to Maxey. Now White has it. Pops it out. Maxey. And now Coach Pierce is yelling for them to hold it for the last shot. So we'll have a little bit of passing around the horn here and dwindle down some time. 28 seconds to go. 4-point lead for Community. Maxey gives off to Flanagan. Flanagan with it on the right wing. Now back to Maddie Maxey. Flanagan, 15 seconds now. Hill on the left wing. They'll swing it around. Now finally Flanagan drives, and a foul is going to be called as she was trying to complete the pass across the way to Madison Hill. But not before the foul was committed by number 21, Johnson, and I believe that is her first. 20-16, 8 seconds remaining. The pass stays in. Almost went over the timeline, and now that one is going to go off of Stanley as she is creating quite the havoc with her defense. 0.4 of a second. Not sure what we can muster up here. And that shot way short. So we go to the half. It's been a little bit of a defensive struggle and an offensive struggle as well. The score 20-16. We got to pay the bills and thank some of our sponsors. And we thank you for tuning in. We go to the half. Again, our score, Community leads it 20-16. You're watching Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Viqueens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Viqueens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
Home isn't just where you live, it's where you belong. It's your people, your school, and your community. That's why I'm proud to support our community Vikings and Viqueens this season. Even if I can't shoot like them, I can still sell your house.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else.
And we'd like to welcome everyone back in. Third quarter action. Second half, 2016 in favor of the Viqueens. Yo's with it. Swings it over on the left wing to Flanagan. Now Haskins, Maxey drives. Nice look to White. White dribbles, powers up, puts it up, won't go. Rebound going to come back the other way, that being Redmond and the Central Magnet Lady Tigers. Stanley with it at the top of the key. So moving along the baseline, trying to free someone up, and that one's simply thrown out of bounds. That should go, yes, to the purple and gold. I didn't believe anybody touched it, but I was just making sure the officials saw it the same way. So Maddie Maxey will bring it across the timeline, swings over to Yos. White came up top to set the screen. Now she'll flash back down to the block. Flanagan gave it to Maxey. Now they swing it around back to Flanagan. Three, bang! 3-point basket by number 21, the junior, Sarah Flanagan. And the score now 23-16, the largest of the night. Johnson with it for the Lady Tigers. Gives off to Stanley. Redmond was coming over to set a screen, but they passed it before she could get over there. Stanley, three-pointer, bottom. Wow. That hit nothing but the bottom of the net. And again, like we said in the first half, Community, every opportunity they have to pull away, it seems like the Lady Tigers just claw right back. They are hanging in here. The score 23-19. Yos with it. Maxey on the right wing. Gives to Flanagan. Flanagan drives to the paint, kicks out. Maxey three ball. And that one just short of the mark. It's going to go off of a Lady Tiger. And it will stay with Community. So that was number 22, that being Lily Styball, trying to save it, but just could not get it along the baseline. Haskins drives, puts up a shot, off the glass, won't go. Rebound, and a foul has been called. It's going to stay on this end. Let's see who the guilty party is. And that foul is going to be called against Madison Stanley, the sophomore for Central Magnet, that being her first. Inbounded to Flanagan. They'll go around the horn to Yos, who hands off to Maxey. Now she'll back it out and go back to the top of the key. 23-19, 4-point advantage for the home squad. Yos, White, nice look. White puts it up, won't go, misses the mark. Rebound coming back with it is Johnson. Johnson leaves it for Stanley. Stanley drives, the foul's been committed, and that was a hack across the arm. I believe it's going to be on Anna Haskins. And indeed it is. So Haskins, the guilty party, and I believe that may be her first. Again, no benefit of a PA announcer tonight, so I'm trying my best to track everything for you. Stanley momentarily had that one knocked away. Now picks it up, shot, that one short. Rebound going to go Brooklyn Yos. Yos will dump it off to Maxey. We'll come back with it the other way. We're approaching the 5-minute mark here in the third. 23-19, the slim advantage for the purple and gold. Maxey trying to come off somewhat of a screen by Yos. Now gives to Yos. That three is short as it hits the front of the rim. And rebound goes to Madison Stanley. She'll bring it up. Stanley getting the play from head coach Alan Bush. And now coming up, handing off over to Johnson. And now Johnson will decide to back it out. Madison Stanley takes the handoff. Now she'll hand it off to number 5, that being Clancy. But eventually ends up back in the hands of Stanley as she drives. Haskins, good defense, blocked. And that was actually Maddie Maxey that was on her. The visiting crowd wanting a foul call, but it looked like a clean block, and that's a nice drive by Haskins. Rims out, ball put back up, and a foul has been called. So good rebound there by number 11, Alyssa White, the junior, as she will go to the line. The foul going to be credited to Anna Redmond, the sophomore for the Lady Tigers. 23-19, as White will toe the mark. And the free throw drops. Checking in for Central Magnet will be number 2, Landry LaPointe. And having a seat will be number 15, Anna Redmond. As White will attempt the second free throw. That one on the way, and it is too strong. Rebound underneath. A foul is called. Going to be going back the other way. So the foul called on number 21, Sarah Flanagan, as she was tied up with number 22, Styball. And now checking back in for community will be number 30, Morgan Pridmore. So just under 4 minutes to go, 24-19. And again, community has just not been able to pull away. Stanley with it. Comes off the screen by Styball. Puts it up and draws the foul. The basket will not go, but she will go to the line for two. So the foul on Morgan Pridmore, that is her second. And that is the third team foul of the period. Meanwhile, Stanley puts up the first free throw, and that one is good. 24-20, her second attempt. That one just short. Rebound is going to go out of bounds. I thought it was off Styball, and indeed it is. Meanwhile, checking in for community will be number 2, Savannah Pearson. Checking out is 21, Sarah Flanagan. 24-20, the 4-point lead by the Viqueens. And Stanley with some aggressive defense by Haskins. Haskins actually gets past her, but the shot is short. Rebound will stay with Stanley as she'll bring it across the timeline. Stanley in the paint. Was that not a travel? Let's see. It's actually going to be called a foul as Stanley went into the paint recklessly. The foul going to be on Morgan Pridmore. That is her third. And Stanley will go to the line. This will be the closest that Central Magnet has been in quite some time, as the score now 24-21. They are in, I was going to say in a situation where it's one possession, but definitely now as the second free throw goes. So 24-22. Community needing some offense, and that one's stolen away by Johnson. Johnson will push. That one goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Viqueens, as I believe it was Brooklyn Yost that may have knocked it out of bounds. So at least we did not give up the easy two in transition. That pass underneath the basket, and a foul is going to be committed by Pearson, that being her second. And that is the fourth team foul. Well, I was going to say I've got it as the fifth. The scoreboard now does say 5, so that is the fifth team foul, as Pearson will come out of the basketball game. And the first free throw is knocked down, making it 24-23. So now in for the Viqueens is Yos, Maxey, Pridmore, Hill, and Haskins. So the second free throw will not go. 24-23. Community with the slimmest of leads. Maddie Maxey with it on the right wing, flashing Morgan Pridmore. Nice head fake, drives, puts it up, and that one will not go. Rebound goes to Styball. And back come the Lady Tigers with an opportunity to take the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Stanley with it at the top, trying to set up somewhat of a resemblance of some offense. They had a little pick and roll going, and a nice look as Pridmore came over to help, and then Styball was left alone. Nice look by Stanley, and they take the lead 25-24. Haskins with it on the right wing. Stanley, a lot of physical defense, as she is going to be called for the foul. That is her second. That is only the team third, I believe, as checking back in for community will be Flanagan and White. Checking back in for Central Magnet will be number 15, Redmond. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. A third quarter and that is 5 seconds. 5 seconds has been called. Good defense by the Lady Tigers. Turnover. And they look to add to their lead. As we go under 2 minutes, a third quarter that has belonged to the ladies from Murfreesboro, as they have chipped away at the lead and have taken advantage here, leading by 1. Stanley with it, swings it across. Three, that off the mark. Trying to save it was Redmond, but unfortunately could not as it goes out of bounds. 1:34 to go here in the third to be exact, 25-24 in favor of our visitors from up the road. As Maddie Maxey will bring it across the timeline. And that lazy pass luckily goes out of bounds as it was a good job defensively by number 5, that being Nora Clancy. She read it all the way and unfortunately could not come to grips with it. Three, bottom! Yo's with a three from the corner right off the inbound, and that's what the doctor ordered, 27-25. She now has 6 points from beyond the arc. So the 2-point lead by the Viqueens as we approach the 1 minute mark. Nice look down low to Styball, puts it up and lays it off the square. So Styball has been a little bit of a force to deal with here in the third quarter as we are knotted at 27 apiece. Maxey gives over to Yost. Yost now gives to Sarah Flanagan. Flanagan drives in the paint, kicks, had a wide open look, decides to drive, puts it up, won't get it to go, but Maddie Maxey will go to the line. So that foul credited to Clara Johnson. I have that down as her second. 36 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And the free throw up and good. So the last 2 games have been very kind to Maddie Maxey from the charity stripe. And the second free throw. Unfortunately, I jinxed her. That one missed, but she does a good job of getting her own rebound. 32 seconds. Yo swings it all the way across. Wide open three. And that one too deep, goes off the back of the iron. The ball kept alive momentarily, but now Stanley has it, and a foul has been called. So, Mr. Official, who is it going to be on? It is going to be credited to Anna Haskins, her second, as number 25, Hayden Moore, the freshman, will come in for Sarah Flanagan for the last 23 seconds here in the third. 28-27. Stanley to the line because they are in the bonus. And that free throw is money. She has not missed tonight. Or if she has, I did not notice. The second free throw is good as well. Checking in for Central Magnet. Stanley will get a little bit of a breather. Checking in will be the junior, number 3, Catherine Zupkis. 20 seconds to go. It's been a great one. 29-28 in favor of the ladies from Murfreesboro. As I'm assuming Community will try to hold for the last shot here. 9 seconds. Yo's with it. Swings to Moore. Moore drives in, out to Maxey. Maxey now gives the Yo's 3 seconds. She's going to have to hurry. White has to put it up. And a foul has been called right at the buzzer as Alyssa White was trying to lay it up and in off the square. So the foul going to be credited to Styball. I believe that is her second, but we will benefit from some free throws here, or hopefully will. White? Yes. So we are tied 29-29. There is no time remaining here in the third. Second free throw by the junior. Will not rattle home as it goes over the front iron and pops back out. So we will start up the fourth quarter the same way we started the game. Tied. 29-29 is our score. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network.
Bella Chic Boutique, located at 300 North Britton Street in Shelbyville, Tennessee, offers fabulous style with all the latest fashions. We also offer seasonal attire to celebrate all major holidays. Getting ready for the big game? Yeah, we have you covered there too. We also carry all the items you'll ever need to complete your ensemble. Bella Chic Boutique. Look good, feel good, dress good.
break between the quarters. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. Unfortunately, we can only get in a 30-second clip there. 29-29 is her score. Stanley for three. And that one off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to White. White gives over to Yost. She'll lead the charge. Swings over to Flanagan. Flanagan drives, looking for White, who was cutting in, and that ball was knocked away. Styball came away with it. Hands off to Stanley. Stanley drives, cut off, and now they'll kick it out. Wide open three. Yes. Wide open three. Good look by Clara Johnson, who buries that one. And they take the lead, 32-29. Maxey drives in the paint. Floater. She'll draw the foul. She cannot get the shot to go, but she will attempt to. So that foul is going to be called on Madison Stanley. That is her third. So something to watch possibly down the stretch. Maxey to the line. And that one will rim out. Score remains 32-29. Second one, too strong. Rebound is, well, it's loose. And a tie up. Well, no. The official to my left is not going to call it a jump tie ball. He's going to call a foul, and it's going to be on Community. He never did signal a number. I'm assuming that it was on Maxey. She was the closest one in the vicinity of the basketball. But regardless, Central Magnet with it. They lead 32-29. Stanley with it at the top of the key. Gives off. Quick turnaround, and that shot goes in from the elbow. Nice shot by the junior Landry LaPointe. And Central Magnet with their largest lead of the evening. It is 34-29. They have really come out and played well here in the second half. Flanagan with it. Flanagan going to drive. Puts the shot up. Won't go. Rebound is loose. And Styball finally comes away with it for the Lady Tigers. So they can add to the lead here and really put a squeeze on the Viqueens. 5-point advantage for the Lady Tigers. The drive. Nice kick to Styball. Puts it up. Won't go. Rebound White. And the visitors to my left wanting a foul call. Looked like a lot of contact, but no whistle went off. And now Maxey the other way. A foul is called, and, of course, they want to travel. So we cannot please both sides, as that is the case every night. But the visitors really struggling with some of the officiating as that foul called on Johnson. That is her third. Meanwhile, another foul on the floor as the shot went up, but the foul occurred before that. And that one being called on Clara Johnson. That is her fourth, if I'm counting correctly. And it looks like possibly Coach Bush, is he wanting a timeout? And indeed he does. So 6:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. Our score 34-29. You're watching Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network. .605 to go here in the fourth. 34-29, a 5-point advantage for the visitors. Haskins with it. Drives into the paint, pushes off. And I thought it could have been an offensive foul, but it is actually going to be credited to Nora Clancy. I believe that is her first. That one really could have gone either way. A lot of contact in the paint, both trying to gain position. But Clancy the one charged. Inbound goes to Maxey. Maxey coming around and puts it up too strong. And that one going to go out of bounds. It'll stay with Community. Another questionable call along the baseline. 5:55. We'll definitely take it as we trail by 5. Yo's with it. Swings over to Haskins. Haskins drawing a little bit of a double team. Now she'll drive along the baseline, puts it up. She's fouled. And that one on Madison Stanley, I do believe that would be her fourth, as she is pleading her case to the official, and it is falling on deaf ears. So Haskins to the charity stripe. That one rims in, hits the front, then hits the back of the iron and goes in. We'll take it 34-30. Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be effective. Haskins, the second one, yes. 34-31, and a timeout has been called. We'll take another break. We've cut the deficit to 3. You're watching Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back in. 5:46 to go here in the fourth quarter. 3-point advantage for the Lady Tigers. 1 point of interest here with this much time remaining. If the scoreboard is correct, and I've been trying to keep up with the fouls myself, we'll be in the bonus the rest of the way, and that could play a huge role. So again, another game that could very well come down to the free throws. A foul. And I believe it's going to be Sarah Flanagan called for this. And indeed it is. So Flanagan picks up her second. Stanley with it. Swings over to Redmond. Redmond now back to Stanley. They had had Clancy down in the corner, wide open, but chose not to give the basketball to her. Now she'll flash high, and they do give to Clancy. Now back to Stanley. Over to Clancy. Clancy going to drive in. She's cut off at the baseline. Good defense there by the Viqueens. Now Stanley back with it. Stanley, three-pointer, bottom. Nice shot there, as Stanley, living dangerously with the 4 fouls, knocks down the 3, 37-31. Maxey with it on the right wing. Yos. Back to Maxey. Maxey, clear cross court. Flanagan. Now Yos. Haskins. Haskins for 3. Bang! Haskins answers. And the score now back down to a 3-point deficit. 37-34. And now a timeout has been called. So we'll see what Bush comes up with out of that timeout. So 4:23 to go here in the fourth. 3-point advantage for the visitors. You're watching Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network. So 4:23 to go here in the fourth. Welcome back into the Roger Kent Brothers Gymnasium, with Unionville trailing by 3. 2 points of interest for Central Magnet. Clara Johnson, I have her with 4 fouls, along with Madison Stanley. That could play a huge role down the stretch with this much time remaining. Stanley, three-pointer. Oh, and it goes all the way around the rim and finally falls through. So 40-34 as she gets another one to go down. Can the Viqueens answer? Yos with it at the top of the key. Will swing it over to Maxey. Maxey back to Yos. Will go around the horn with it. Haskins thought about it, and a travel is going to be called as she attempted a head fake and was going to go underneath and apparently shuffled the feet. So Stanley will bring it up for the Lady Tigers, and they can really put some distance between them here. 6-point lead for the visitors. Also, I would think, too, as Johnson has the basketball, you would attempt to take your time in no hurry. You don't need points. You just need that clock to continue to run and get out of here. Johnson with it. She'll swing it across. Clancy. Now she'll drive in. She's cut off, and a foul has been called. It's going to be either on Haskins or White. And they are going to credit it to Haskins, so that is her third. And now the third team foul against Community. And an offensive foul has been called. If that is on Stanley, I believe that's her fifth. Let's see. And it is not. It was called on Styball. So they were both over there in the general area. I wasn't sure who he was going to get for the infraction. So Maxie with it, 6-point lead. Big turnover there by Central Magnet. As Coach Pierce trying to relay the message there to Maxie. Three-pointer. Bang! Anna Haskins, timeout. Coach Pierce, we have narrowed this thing down to 3. We'll talk a little strategy. We'll take a break. 2:54 to go here in the fourth. You're watching Viqueens basketball on the Ball Network. So welcome back into what is turning out to be a classic, a barn burner, 40-37. A 3-point lead by Central Magnet from Murfreesboro as they have possession of the basketball, and inbounding will be number 2, Landry LaPointe. Stanley playing with 4 fouls, I do believe, as well as Clara Johnson. So something to watch for here in the final few minutes. Johnson with it, gives over to Stanley. Stanley will swing it across. Clancy just going to take time with it. Now we'll give back to Stanley. Stanley with the top of the key. Dribbles, drives the paint, and offensive foul. A charge has been taken by White, and that should be 5, I do believe. And that is her 5th foul. That is going to be huge down the stretch. 2:25 to go. Alyssa White, mark that down. That might be very well be the play of the game right there. Giving herself up, taking a charge, and that is huge. As again, Madison Stanley, her 5th foul, and will be out of the contest for the remainder. 40-37, 3-point lead by the Lady Tigers. Haskins has had the hot hand. She's got it over in the corner. Gives to Maxie. Maxie now over to Yo's. Yo's looking for White down low. White out to Haskins. 3. That one's short. Rebound goes to number 2, Landry LaPointe, the junior. And now Central Magnet will slow it down. We're going under 2 minutes. 3-point lead by the Lady Tigers. Styball with it. Swings over to Redmond. Now to Johnson. Johnson again with 4 fouls. Clancy, and they've grown a little stagnant. Timeout's going to be called by Allen Bush. So they're going to regroup, and we'll take a quick break. 1:29 to go in this one. A 3-point lead by the Lady Tigers. You're watching Viqueens basketball on the Ball Network. Welcome back into the Roger Kent Brothers Gymnasium here in Unionville, Tennessee, where we've got one that's looking like it's going to come down to the last possession. 40-37 is the advantage for the visitors. Lady Tigers with possession of the basketball. Inbounding will be Johnson. Johnson gives off to Clancy. She'll drive in, but she has cut off. Excellent defense by Haskins. Haskins try to go in behind Johnson for the steal. Now they're going to double team Redmond down in the corner, but they managed to get the ball back out to the top of the key. 1:12 to go. That one almost went across the timeline. Johnson now stolen away. Nice defense. And a foul has been called. A jump has not been called. That's what Coach Alan Bush wants. But a foul has been called against Central Magnet. And if that was on Johnson, that was the fifth. I did not catch who that foul was against, but of course we are in the bonus, so that is huge as we can score points with no time ticking. So I never did see who the foul was called on, but Johnson's still in there, so obviously it was not credited to her. Maxey with the free throw, it goes, and our score now 40-38. Viqueens within 2. Second free throw, yes. So a 1-point lead. Central Magnet, Johnson with it. Now a little bit of pressure by Community. Excellent job bringing it across the timeline, and a foul is going to be called. Landry LaPointe took it upon herself to drive in, and she draws the contact. That foul being on number 21, Sarah Flanagan. That is her third, and it is the 4th team foul. So Central Magnet may be shooting free throws momentarily, depending on how this one goes. 54 seconds, 1-point lead for the Lady Tigers. Trying to double team at the top of the key. Johnson, and a foul has been called, not a tie-up. A foul has been called, and that is going to be the 4th on Sarah Flanagan. So that will send Central Magnet to the line. And as we noted before, this ball game will come down to free throws, and indeed it will. Landry LaPointe, the first free throw is up and in. I'm double checking to see if that is, the free throw is off the mark, and it was actually Johnson that was attempting the free throws. I cannot see because of the ponytail. I apologize. 39-41, 2-point advantage for the Lady Tigers. Haskins with it on the right wing. Maxey swings it across. Wide open. Yos thought about it. Now we'll give to Maxey. Under 30 seconds now. She backs it out, and Coach Pierce will call a timeout. So 27 seconds exactly left. 2-point advantage for the visitors, but we've got possession. Come back and see what happens. You're watching Viqueen Basketball on the Ball Network.
So Sudbury, located at 617 Parson Road in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for everything purple and gold. The Spirit Store has all things in every sport. Do you need new gear with the new community logos? So Sudbury has you covered. They have the new logos on all items and anything else you can imagine. So Sudbury, when it comes to quality, it must be so.
So welcome back in. I will set the stage for you. 41-39, 2-point advantage for the Lady Tigers. The Community with possession. Both teams in the bonus, so fouls at this point will require free throws. Inbounding in the backcourt will be Maxey, and already a timeout. I believe Coach Pierce was wanting to see what they were going to come out in defensively. So timeout, 25 seconds. We'll take another quick break. 2-point lead by the Lady Tigers. You're watching Community Basketball on the Ball Network. So 25 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Who will prevail? Will we see overtime? Will we see a victory? Will we see a loss? Everything hanging in the balance right now. 2-point lead by Central Magnet. Viqueens with possession. They will have to inbound from across the way. Yos will inbound. Looks like Central Magnet is not going to put on any type of pressure as they come out in that 2-3 zone. Maxey dribbles around the right. Flanagan with it at the top of the key. Gives out Haskins, long three. That one's short of the mark. Rebound goes to Styball. And they are going to have to hustle. 12 seconds. You got to get some pressure. Johnson with it. Almost lost it. And now she's finally fouled, but way too much time has eluded. A foul should have been committed quicker. I know you possibly want to try to go for the steal, but you can only take so much time to go for that theft because 7 seconds is all that remains. So going to the line will be Johnson. The free throw, yes. So the score, well, we're going to get a quick timeout. 42-39, timeout, Coach Pierce. And we'll take the break with him. 42-39, you're watching Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network. Seven seconds to go, fourth quarter, 42-39, in a game that has gone back and forth, but the second half has been very kind to the Lady Tigers. They made some adjustments at the half and have played extremely well. Arguably their best player, number 30, Madison Stanley, had a tremendous night. She has fouled out, but there's not been much of a drop-off for the Lady Tigers. 7 seconds, and this free throw could seal it, barring something miraculous. 7 seconds, score 42-39. Clara Johnson, the senior, toes the mark, and the free throw is good. 4-point lead. Inbound goes to Maxey. Maxey drives, 5 seconds, and a foul has been called. So an offensive foul on Maddie Maxey, and that will put it in the books. As Coach Pierce and the official are having words, but Maddie Maxey called with pushing off with that forearm, and that will do it. It's knocked away by Brooklyn Yost. It will stay with the Lady Tigers. But a 4-point deficit, and I was trying to see the official is getting an earful. But a quick timeout by Coach Bush of Central Magnet. We'll take another break. 43-39 is our score. You're watching Viqueen basketball on the Ball Network. So 3.7 seconds to be exact is all that remains in this one. 43-39. The visitors from Rutherford County looks like they are going to travel into Unionville and walk away with the W. Central Magnet 5-2 on the season, or at least on the records that I could find. And they have had some quality wins against some opponents that we have seen. That one actually stolen away by Maxey at half court. Maxey puts it up, and that one will not go. She would have needed to be fouled anyways as the deficit was 43-39. So that is our final. So we hope you enjoyed the broadcast despite the outcome. We'll see you again in 2026, Lord willing, as our next broadcast will be here at home against Huntland on January 2nd at 6 p.m. So with that said, we wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, go Viqueens. We'll be back in roughly 15 minutes with the nightcap as the boys tackle Central Magnet for their last home contest of 2025. So again, thanks for tuning in. We thank you for your time this time. Until next time, this is David Knowles, and you've been watching on the Ball Network.